How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about how to find the good in any situation. If you want to feel and receive the positive energy in whatever it is that you're going through, this is the episode for you. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So right before I was recording this episode, I was actually looking at the stats and I was thinking about something. I had noticed that there's a lot more bigger name podcasts coming in the space, and because of that, my ranking had gone down. And at first I was like, man, that's a bummer. Like, I'm used to reaching so many people. And then I thought, well, okay, what's my purpose? To reach as many people as I can, or is to make an impact as I desire? And so I was looking at that and I was looking at the numbers and I thought, you know what? There's a select person that's going to be listening to this episode. It's not going to be everybody, but somebody that purposefully found this message. So I'm going to make it unique. I'm going to make this one really specific to you. Because if it's not resonating, you would have already changed it. You've been looking for a sign. You've been trying to find something to show you that maybe you're just looking at it wrong so you can find something good. Well, this message is exactly that. You're tuning into something that you could have tuned out of, but you're staying in. Now, if you can find something good in this episode, you'll realize that you can find something good in anything. Because your perspective of the thing always impacts how you receive it. Nothing, nobody, the world, all of it is not as it is. It's always as you are. Meaning, think about this. If you're walking down the street and you look down and you see a $100 bill, if you don't have any money saved, you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not sure how you're going to pay for the next thing. If you see that $100 bill, its impact on you, the value of it is extremely high. But in the reverse, if you're walking down the street and you see that $100 bill, but you've got $1 million in the bank account, you have a great job, you have so many opportunities, you'll look down and you'll still see that $100. You might even be appreciative of it. I'm not even saying that you're ungrateful, but its value to you is different because of the perspective. It's never to think. So when you are going through a situation, how you choose to operate energetically, how you choose to perceive it energetically will affect how you receive it. And you can ride the scale. You can look at something as you currently are and then work on seeing it from different perspectives. See it from the version of you that's younger. See it from the version of you that's older. See it from the version of you that's healed. See it from the version of you that doesn't know the pain that you've currently gone through. See it from the version of you that wants the worst out of the situation. See it from the version of you that wants the best out of the situation. When you start doing this and truly looking at something at different angles, you realize not only can you see other things, but then you can receive other things. Think about something you don't know a lot about. Maybe plumbing. Maybe you don't know a lot about plumbing. And there's an issue. You have a leak in your sink and it's leaking. You're trying to figure it out. You could work on that sink for hours and hours and hours, and it would look so confusing to you. Nothing would make sense how it goes. But then if you're a plumber that's been a plumber for 20 years and you've worked on that many sinks that look like that so many times, you could do it with your eyes closed. The thing doesn't change. It's the person that's perceiving it that does. When they look at it, they see how it gets done. When you look at it, you see it with confusion. Now, you can't just quite shift into the perspective of knowing everything about something, but you can certainly shift in the perspective of someone that's confident that they can know. When you're going through something and you're looking at it and it looks so confusing, just tell yourself, I am the one that solves this. Future me knows the answer. I know the answer, now I just have to remember as I go. Versus, I've never known this, I'm not going to know, I can't see how to do this. Your perception is everything. It truly is the way you receive the world. It's like if you could only look through a straw, and whenever you look through the straw is what you could see, you can't see out of it. Whatever you breathe through the straw, that's all you can't see outside of it. Whatever thoughts can come through it, whatever you're focusing on. That's why it's so important to pay attention to not only what's around you, what you're observing, but how you're observing it. If somebody does something wrong to you, are you going to react in the same energy? That's usually what happens. But if someone is wrong to you and then you act in the same energy that they give you, that is lowering your vibration, even if it's right. If most people say what you did was fair, that's what they would do too. It still shifts your energy. The better you get at seeing things at different perspectives, the faster you can do it. And so when something happens, you can see it from the perspective of you that's being maybe unjustly attacked or whatever like that, but you can also see the perspective of you that doesn't know the hurt that's about to happen. You can see it from the perspective of you that maybe knows this person and knows that this person is having a bad day, and that you can actually be the calming factor to allow that person to let go of some energy and then meet in the middle. Whatever perception you decide of the event will affect how you receive the event. That doesn't mean bad things won't happen to you and you just have to accept it. It just means that this is all an experience, meaning you have an experience from the moment you're born to the end. It's an experience. Some of it's going to be great. Some of it's going to hurt. Some of it's going to be uplifting. Some of it's going to take you down. But when you know that there's a perspective that's valuable in all those situations, that there's a perspective that you're actually here to have in all those situations, that does give more purpose to something hard that happens, to something difficult that happens. Because instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this thing? It's how can I perceive light in this thing? You see, what you perceive you are. You vibrationally can't be at a mismatch of what you're focusing on. Otherwise, you won't be able to focus on it. That's why somebody that wants to make a lot of money but can't pay attention to it is never going to have it. The person that wants to get in really good shape but can't put the energy into it, meaning the attention, it's never going to happen. Where you put your attention matters. Where you're focusing matters, because your perception is your reception. And at every moment in time, when something bad is happening to you that you quote unquote bad, when something hard, hurtful, unfair, when you're being victimized, you're going into the darkness, because that's energy that's coming at you. That's low vibrational. It's darkness. And so when you react evenly, you become the darkness. Even if it's right, even if they had it coming, even if it was what was fair. When you react that way, and I'm not saying the result is what you want or not want, like you're not good or bad. It's just when you react in the energy that's coming at you, you then become that energy. When you go through trauma and then you speak about it, you are giving it life. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just is what it is. And so there's times where you can apply this for your own good. When the hard thing's happening, when the hurtful event, the loss, when you're going through it, if you can reflect just a little bit, you give yourself an opportunity. You can't do it the whole way. When you have pain, you're going to feel pain. When you have loss, you're going to feel loss. But there's a percentage of you that can also use that for your experience. And so the thing that's happening, if you match that energy, become it. But you're meant to be light. So for the thing that happens, you can find the light from it. Then that light starts to shine within you. And then you become a strong light where it's needed most. You become the healing of the force that's attacking you. And it doesn't mean you're going to change the identity of what's coming at you, but you're going to reinforce what you truly are. When you choose to be something when it's not convenient, you know you're that something. When you choose to be something when it's the opposite of what you actually would naturally do or desire to do, you know that you are becoming that. You are actually that thing. You are not the reflection of what's around you. This life is an experience. You have the ability to view the experience from a different perspective. You can choose that over anything. You can choose that over your life in general because it will set you free. It removes the ego and goes fully into how do I perceive the good in this? Because if I can perceive it, I can receive it. If I receive it, I become it. If I become it, I can give it. That becomes your new purpose. That's how you rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.